Today, I'm challenging myself to control my emotions in tough situations and respond like a pro. Let's see if I can keep my cool. Emotional intelligence is one of the most underrated skills we can possess, yet it's literally the key to success in pretty much every area of our lives. Think about it. When we're able to control our emotions, we're less reactive, we're more thoughtful, and we're way more likely to make decisions that align with our goals and values. It's especially crucial in stressful situations, where emotions can get the best of us if we let them. We've all been there. Our phone rings and it's an unexpected bill collector on the other end. Or we're having a rough morning and someone cuts us off on the road. Or maybe we just got into an argument with someone we care about, whatever the situation. We've all experienced that wave of anger, frustration, or anxiety that can take over and dictate our response. We've all hit send on that impulsive text or email, only to regret it seconds later. Or we've all snapped at someone we love, only to feel guilty about it afterwards. We've all let our emotions get the best of us at some point, and it's no secret that it can lead to some pretty disastrous consequences. But the question is, how do we stop it from happening in the first place? How do we catch ourselves before we react impulsively and instead respond thoughtfully and intentionally? For me, one of the most challenging situations is when someone pushes one of my buttons, the one thing that just sets you off and makes you want to lash out. We all have those buttons, and it's easy to let them get the best of us. But what if we could pause for just a second before reacting? What if we could take a deep breath, step back, and respond from a place of calm and clarity? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Some practical tips and techniques for recognizing our emotions, managing them effectively, and responding thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Because let's be real, it's not about suppressing our emotions or pretending like they don't exist. It's about acknowledging them, understanding them, and using them to our advantage. One of the most powerful techniques I've discovered is something called emotional labeling. It's super simple and incredibly effective. Essentially, when you start to feel an emotion rising up, you label it. You say to yourself, I am feeling angry right now, or I'm feeling frustrated. It sounds simple, but trust me, it's a game changer. When we label our emotions, we create a tiny little gap between the emotion and our reaction to it. And in that gap, we have the power to choose how we respond. Another technique I want to share with you is the concept of urge surfing. It's similar to emotional labeling, but it takes it to the next level. When you feel an urge to react impulsively, you acknowledge it, and then you surf that urge. You write it out, observing it without judgment until it passes. It's an incredibly powerful way to build self-awareness and develop greater control over your emotions. The third technique I want to share with you is something called the second pause. It's something that I found to be incredibly effective in high-pressure situations. Essentially, when you fear yourself getting reactive, you pause for just 6 seconds before responding. It's long enough to calm down and gather your thoughts, but short enough that you're not stuck in limbo forever. And trust me, those 6 seconds can make all the difference. One of the most powerful methods I've discovered for enhancing emotional control is something called box breathing. It's a technique used by Navy SEALs, and it's incredibly effective in high-stress situations. Essentially, you breathe in for a count of 4, hold it for a count of 4, and then exhale for a count of 4. You repeat that process for as long as you need to, and it's an incredibly powerful way to calm your nervous system and gain control over your emotions. I've used it in everything from public speaking to dealing with difficult conversations, and it's been a total game changer. Let's say you're in a meeting and someone says something that really gets under your skin. Instead of lashing out, you take a few box breaths, calm down, and respond thoughtfully. You can use it in traffic when you're feeling frustrated or angry. You can use it in an argument when you're feeling defensive or hurt. The possibilities are endless, and it's an incredibly powerful tool to have in your toolbox. So let's recap the main strategies we've discussed for controlling our emotions and responding thoughtfully. We've talked about recognizing our emotions, labeling them, and using urge surfing to manage them. We've also talked about the 6-second pause and the incredibly powerful technique of box breathing. Remember, it's not about suppressing our emotions or pretending like they don't exist. It's about acknowledging them, understanding them, and using them to our advantage. Thanks for tuning in today, everyone. If you've got a story about how you've struggled with emotional control in the past, I want to hear about it in the comments below. And if you're interested in learning more about emotional intelligence, I've got another video that you might find helpful. Until next time, take care and keep pushing yourself to respond like a pro.